Hey, what's up? This is Brad Kofman here with episode 1 of Redheaded Stepchild here with Julia Stoyanova.
Hello.
Hi, before the cameras came on, we were just talking about New Year's. So it's about a
Yes,
week after New Year's. You said New Year's used to be your favorite holiday?
it used to. I first want to say I didn't know that I'm the first one on your podcast.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
are, yeah.
Thank you. That's
Of
such an
course.
honor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be my favorite holiday. And I just love how people are kind of like starting, like it's just like a reset. And you're like, I'm going to do better this year. And you're so full of hope. And this year I hit 30 and I think my hope just disappeared. Like that's something that you do in your 20s, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the first year that I have no resolution. I did not wait for New Year. And
You
I was
didn't wait
like,
for New Year? You didn't stay
I
up till
did
midnight?
not. I
Wow.
didn't. Well, no, I was still up,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I was just like, oh, it's like every
Who
other
cares?
day, you know? And then the next day I just woke up and I was like, well, that didn't feel like New Year. That's kind of sad. So I was like, all right, Julia, welcome to your 30s. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that happens. I try and do something because it just feels lame to do nothing.
yeah, you feel like a bum.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, I do something. I don't like doing shows on New Year's because it's always just such like it's just like this whole thing and the ball drop and the countdown and then just
Yeah.
like it's just this big long thing and it's just it is something to do, but like I just prefer to go to a dive bar and like
Me
hang out
too.
where they don't even know it's New Year's there. It's like so there's this bar I go to. I'll tell you later. I don't want everybody to start going to it. But it's perfect. I walked in with a couple friends and there was maybe like 30% full
Mhm.
and like nobody cared. By the time midnight came around, it was like maybe like 70-80% full, but we already had like our table. It was great.
Yeah.
Never had to wait for a drink. It was just, and it was like $35 for us to drink all night, you know, like just
Oh, wow.
$3 beer. It's like a dive bar. It's like I don't want to go pay
I love
a couple
that.
$100s to go somewhere.
Yeah, I love that. So we did a show at the Red Room, but our show is always starting at 8, then till 10:30. We still do the toast, but it's like
Yeah.
2 hours before New Year.
Perfect. And everybody can get out of there
Yeah,
before midnight
you can
or
do
stay at the
whatever you
bar.
want. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. And first year I was like very surprised. I was like, who's gonna even want to do that? Apparently a lot of people. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, that's great. Okay, so that's our third year that we're doing that.
Wow. I would
But-
think the same thing. Like, who would come to this New Year's
Right?
show?
And yeah, but it was so funny because I'm like, thank you so much for your spending your money, but I also judge you for spending the money.
Yeah.
But it was actually super lovely because after that, we took a couple of the comics in my house, and we have like a special traditional pastry for New Year that we're doing in Bulgaria.
So you're Bulgarian.
Yes, I am
Okay.
Bulgarian.
And hey, we'll come back to that in a second, just for some background. So you're Bulgarian, and
Yeah.
you grew up there for most of your life, right?
Yes, I moved in the States when I was 22.
22. Okay.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Wow. Okay. So go on.
Yeah, so I made like a pastry and we're putting different fortunes and people, we're going in a circle and then you need to spin it and wish everybody whatever you want for 2024.
Yeah.
And whatever piece it's in front of you, this is your fortune.
Oh,
So it
that's
was so
cool.
nice because I had like 7 Bulgarians in my house and they were doing the most Bulgarian witchcraft ever for New Year.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that felt super good. Yeah.
That is cool. I've noticed I grew up in a really very Eastern European neighborhood.
Yeah.
And all my Eastern European friends, everybody goes crazy for New Year's. Like it was never a big deal to like me or like anybody like that I knew who grew up here. But for them it's like New Year's is you have to clean the house, have to pay all our debts before New Year's,
Oh,
have
yeah.
to everything is have to bring in the New Year good. If it's bad, it's gonna be a bad year.
You got to broke up with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing. It's so okay. So you grew up in Bulgaria until you were 22.
Yes.
And Bulgaria, I don't know too much about it. I know it's a Baltic country on the Black Sea, right?
Yes,
That's
correct.
about all. And it borders, I think, Macedonia, North Macedonia.
Macedonia,
And
Turkey.
Turkey,
Yeah. Greece,
Greece, okay.
Romania, and the Black Sea. We're 6 million people. So we're.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. It's like the size of Chicago.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think we're even less than Chicago.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So very small country, very beautiful, by the way. Like not the best one if you want to go and live there, but
Sure.
if you go and want to just visit and just it's such a beautiful nature. It's really underrated when it comes to nature.
Yeah, I heard that it's like it has more wilderness, like forests, than like I think anywhere. It's like 30% just forest.
Yeah.
And what I noticed too is because I was like looking up some pictures of Bulgaria, and I noticed I like the architecture a lot. It's like very old, like style,
Yeah.
but cool, which is different because every other country, I feel like if you like look at Romania or like Poland or Ukraine or any of these other like Eastern European countries, it's very like Slavic, like
Yeah.
gray, depressing buildings. But
Oh,
like
we still have those.
You have those too?
We still
Okay.
have those too. You were just looking at the nice pictures. That's
Okay,
what.
yeah. No, but it was cool. I was like looking at these like old, and like I guess it's you're very proud of being Bulgarian.
I am
Yeah.
to a certain
To
degree.
a certain degree, yeah.
I mean, I have my resistance towards Bulgaria. If I didn't have it, I'll probably never leave.
Really, yeah.
To a first place. So, but quite honestly, when I left the country, I was very disappointed from Bulgaria and my surrounding. But now I'm kind of okay. And I also didn't see Bulgaria for 6 years.
So when you came here and you had this, you couldn't leave because you were on a visa.
Yeah, I was on a student visa.
Okay.
And, and student visa plus a lot of questionable stuff others.
Yeah.
And that probably I can't talk about. And it took me a very long time till I find kind of like a window. How can I transfer from this visa to another visa?
That would allow you to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wasn't allowed, and I'm not gonna lie, definitely at some point you're just hitting, like, years are going and going, and you're working like under the table and doing all of those stuff, and you're always like looking behind if there's a cop or this and that. Like it was kind of too much. And
were you in Chicago for the whole time?
Yeah, like through the whole time. And well, except for the first 3 months I was in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, and
We
then
don't
I
talk
moved.
about that.
Yeah, nah, it was Sandusky, Ohio. Nobody cares about it. So, yeah, and you're definitely hitting some points that you're like, where the fuck am I going? Can I say the fuck word?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
All
yeah.
right. Like,
You can say the fuck word.
so you're really hitting a point where like, where am I going with this? Like, how many years I'm gonna spend without seeing my family, my friends, and especially if you have nothing aligned that you can look like. Once I find a way, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we can put you in the process, but that process is gonna take us 2 years."
So for how long was the total time?
6 years before I get the green card.
So for 6 years, you kind of are just like, well, I guess 4 of it, you're kind of
4
just
of them,
like going to school and like working like under the table jobs and just trying to figure it out. And you don't even know. You're kind of just, you don't know how you're going to get there
It was
at
miserable.
all. It sounds awful.
Yeah, and you have to go and do the school, because if you stop your attendance in the school,
Right,
you're done. So for probably like good 4 or 5 years, I was going to school 2 days a week and then 5 days working. So for 5 years almost, I had not a single day off. It
That's
was
crazy.
You're burning out.
Yeah.
And then, when you don't have anything aligned, this is really mentally crushing you if you start thinking about it.
Because
Yeah.
you're going, is this going to be forever?
Yeah.
Or
You
do I
really
go
have
home
some
for good.
Oh yeah, you really have some times that you're just driving home and you're like, I am fucked up. Like, I don't know what's the next step.
Did you think about going back home ever? Were you just like, fuck it?
No.
This was still better.
This is This is how much Bulgaria, it's not a good choice to go back.
Okay.
Yeah. Even all of this was still better than going back.
Wow. Okay.
But also, I think as a immigrant, you're hitting one point where you're like, oh, now I'm Americanized. And, the first time I went back to Bulgaria 2 years ago, I had a biggest shock, like cultural shock, from America going back to Bulgaria rather from Bulgaria moving to America.
Did you feel like you didn't fit in Bulgaria anymore?
Oh yeah, I am such a fish out of water.
Wow.
Like it's so weird because now I'm so used to it. And I was actually thinking about this last night before I go to bed.
Yeah.
I was like, so now I'm fish out of water in Bulgaria, and now I'm in I will always be. I have the accent. I have
Sure.
kind of different look. I'll always be fish out of water in America. So
you
I guess that's my normal state now.
Yeah, you feel like you don't really fit in.
But I do embrace it though. It took me a long time till I do it. Like I had moments when I hate my accent and people think I'm stupid because I don't speak properly and this and that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm getting to the term that I'm actually really embracing it. And, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. Well, this is me. Take me or leave me. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, what else can you do? That's crazy. What did you notice when you went back to Bulgaria for the first time? And it was just like, was it just like you were like, I left. I don't want to. Did it feel like going back and like seeing people doing the same stuff? And you're like, this makes me sad or?
Oh, well, they were definitely making some moves, they're not that homophobic as they used to be.
Oh, you mean as a country?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
but I don't know. I'll say that. Oh, that's so bad. I'm just like, I should go to a podcast and actually represent my country, and I'm just sitting here shitting on it. But I saw a lot of pettiness, if I can say that. Like people were very concentrated on them specifically and getting very irritated. I don't blame them because Bulgaria is kind of like a poor country. There's a lot of people who are doing very well for themselves,
Sure.
But like the majority are living check to check, and it's frustrating. I mean, we all been there. So
when you say pettiness, you mean like arguments over dumb stuff? And
yes.
You felt like I left and you guys are still arguing over this. Like,
yeah.
I've left. I've seen like a whole other country. I've been living there and you guys are still arguing about something that happened 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That doesn't really matter.
Well, it's both. Like I saw so many people just arguing on the streets, like for nothing, because they push you or something. Just move on. Like who gives a fuck, And they're making such a explosion out of it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what is happening? Oh my god.
Yeah, I get that. Tell me a little bit about Bulgarian food.
Ooh. Well, I'll tell you that I didn't cook for a very, very long time.
When you came here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hate cooking.
Did it make you sad or you just didn't want to?
No, I think my mom has always hated cooking and I kind of adopt that as my own belief. And it took me so many years to actually realize that that's not my belief.
Yeah.
And I started like experimenting last year.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had such a belief that I can't cook. I'll never know how to cook. And I started experimenting last year and I started with little recipes and this and that. And now I'm proud to say that I have like a little cookbook with Bulgarian recipes that I learned.
Okay.
So
nice.
Yeah. I'm very proud of this. This is like my new hobby right now. Yeah. So I'm getting into cooking.
What's the food like? Is it similar to like other countries in the region?
Yeah.
Is like Uzbeki food kind of like rice and like chicken or
it's very Mediterranean.
Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very a lot of meat, a lot of salads. Basically.
A lot of meat, a lot of that sounds good.
Yeah. No, it's
kebabs, Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Like
it's actually super
meat on a spit.
Yeah.
I love when meat spins. That's my favorite. Whenever it spins, I'm like, that's gonna be good.
Dude, they have one of the best in Bulgaria. Like, especially in my hometown. I knew a couple of people. Like, I keep hearing stories. People going from another city just to go and get. They're calling duners.
Duners?
Yeah, duners. So they're just going there, and there's a specific place in my hometown that people are just going because you're paying 3 lefs, which is like $1.50.
Okay.
They give you such a big, like, I don't know, newborn that you're supposed to eat. It's so much and it's so delicious. But yeah. But you know what? When I think about it, our food, even the street food, is like healthy.
It's healthy.
Yeah, it's still healthy. Considering.
Because when I think of like, I mean, I don't think unhealthy. I think definitely like fresh and stuff. But like, if I think of like Turkish street food, like a lot of fried, a lot of like, it sounds more like grilled meat or like rotisserie meat, or is that more so? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. I'll say that our... Yeah, especially because we're on the seaside.
Did you grow up near the sea?
Oh yeah, I'm a sea child.
Oh really?
I love the water.
I've heard the Black Sea is beautiful.
It is beautiful. I'm from the best city.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's called Varna. It's like right on the seaside, and they call it the sea capital of Bulgaria.
Okay.
It's so beautiful. You gotta go there.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the uh what's the exchange rate in Bulgaria?
Exchange rate?
Yeah, like how like is this like $1 buy you a lot there?
Oh, it's $1. I think it's almost 2 lefts right now.
Okay. So $1 is 2 Bulgarian dollars
Yeah,
essentially. It's one
but
to two.
yeah, but the cost of living it's way cheaper.
Yeah.
So to give you an example that blew my mind, a pack of cigarette there, it's 5 lefts, which is $250.
That's crazy.
I almost died from cancer for a month and a half there immediately.
Yeah.
Smoke so much.
I have friends who are from Ethiopia,
Mm-hmm.
and it's similar, and they will always like try and smuggle back like cartons of cigarettes and then sell them for like $15 because that's
Hell
cheap
yeah.
here, and then they'll make a couple $100, and
Hell
they're like,
yeah.
yeah,
I respect the hustle.
right, yeah. I had a question about Bulgaria just because I was like doing a little like minor
Mm-hmm.
Wikipedia research, and I noticed like it was a common thing like Bulgarian people will spill water in front of their house for like
Yeah.
good luck or for what or like
Yeah. So when you have like a very big thing coming up, like first day of school, first day of college, if you're going to, I don't know, the nominations, whatever, or your prom, something like that. So
if you need good vibes or
yeah,
like you
it's
need
like
good luck.
big achievement in your life or a big new chapter in your life, they're always like your mom is gonna come with a bottle of water and spill it in front of you. So, and they're saying like the ti vrvi po voda, which is like everything to go like a river. Basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Very interesting.
yeah.
Okay, I'm always curious about this too. What is the alcohol situation? Like every country it seems has their own like unique alcohol. Like people like there'll be like this like beer everybody likes. And then there's like always like this moonshine drink. Like in Italy they have like grappa and like
Yeah.
Greece they have raki and like stuff like that. Do you guys have one of those?
Yeah, we have rakia, which
Rakia.
which
Sounds
is
similar.
almost
Yeah.
almost like the moonshine, and it's it kills every bacteria in your brain.
Yeah, it's like every time I go, I always want to try them because every time I go to a restaurant in another
I'll
country,
bring you some.
I would love to.
Yeah, you should have told me. I would have bring you.
It's always every time I've had one, they all taste relatively similar. Like grappa, obviously, I think comes from maybe I would guess grapes.
Yeah.
And then some of them come from like I know in Poland they have stuff that comes from like corn and wheat and stuff, but they all taste like gasoline.
You can,
You know?
yes, you can actually make rakia from almost everything, like every fruit.
Okay.
My favorite one is from pears. Oh my god, because
Okay.
it's more smoother. Like
Do pears grow in Bulgaria regularly?
the what?
Do they grow in Bulgaria regularly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's good though, but you definitely need time to this alcohol to grow on you.
Yeah, I mean it's basically like every country's version of like we have moonshine, I guess.
Yeah.
But like it's more popular like in other places, like they all drink it.
Yeah.
And like it needs to grow on you, but it's also like you have like a glass after dinner, and you're just like, whoa, that was strong. That's crazy.
The first time somebody gave me moonshine here,
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, that's rakia!"
Yeah, it's this like almost like basement distilled like thing everybody makes, and
Yeah.
like I've noticed too, like every like family is like, well, we make our own, or we have these friends that make it, so we get a lot, and like
They made it illegal in Bulgaria.
really,
Yeah, to make your own, which is so sad.
were a lot of people going blind or something.
Oh yeah, they're just like
Yeah,
going,
not a lot of quality
going in
control.
the basement, But no, because the government wants the money and taxes,
Yeah.
and Bulgarians love rakia,
Yeah.
and there's like a lot of money exchange that is going around not being taxed, and the government was like, "How about you're not gonna be allowed to do this
Yeah,
anymore?"
we need a little bit of that
yeah.
money. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious about this. You told me you are a graduated puppet actress.
Yes, I am.
Okay, let's start. What does that mean? What is a puppet actress?
So I graduated the theater academy in Bulgaria.
Okay.
And my major was acting for puppet theater.
What is puppet theater? I mean, like I know what I'm picturing in my head, but like I don't even know.
It's literally everything that you can make with puppets. So
Okay.
your based audience are kids,
Yes.
but you can also have puppet theater for grown-ups, which is my favorite one. Like for example, shadow theater is considered
Okay.
puppetry because everything that you use to create art on the scene without using like me sitting on the camera and I'm telling you this monologue,
Sure.
you know, it's actually considered puppetry. So you don't have to have a puppet.
Okay, so like I guess in my head I picture like the only puppet theater I can imagine is like maybe like the Muppets.
Yeah, the Muppets,
Or
Sesame
like,
Street.
yeah, or
Yeah.
like even like you watch like old movies and it's like in Japan in the feudal age or like
Yeah.
in medieval times and there's like puppets like on
Yeah.
marionette puppets, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's way more than that.
Well, so in Bulgaria, people
Or
are getting
not, I don't know.
no, it is. It's like kind of like a culture thing because
So it's big in Bulgaria, puppet theater.
yeah, well,
Okay.
it's actually big in Europe.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's very much part of our cultural and education system, which
Okay.
I don't think you guys have it here that much. Like, for example, in Bulgaria, every major city, we have a dedicated theater for puppetry. So
Okay, so it's part of
Yeah.
it's really part of the culture.
yeah, and it's like almost, you know, like every day they have like different plays and teachers are going with groups of kids, and most of those are made actually for educational purpose. So
Interesting.
So yeah, so this is very much implemented in our education as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's really cool. I love puppetry for grown-ups.
Yeah.
And you guys have, and I'm so surprised that most of the Chicago people don't know, but you guys have the biggest puppet festival in America here in Chicago.
What? We have a puppet fest?
Yes, you do. It's every January. Oh my God,
It's
I gotta buy
January.
tickets. I just remember.
Wait, will you send it to me? I'm very curious.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's amazing. And they get people from all over the world. And not to brag, but every time when I go there and when there's like puppetry from Europe,
Yeah.
it's always the best. Like
Okay.
I love the American one too, but you can see the difference in the levels. And every time when I talk about this,
When you say like the levels, like the sophistication of what they're doing or like the message they're conveying rather than just like.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
So, for example, stand-up is an American art.
Sure.
Other country also adopted it. But
Mm-hmm.
when you watch, like, I'm not saying that they're bad.
It's different.
It's different because
Yes.
it started in
Yeah.
America and you're like, what, 70, 80 years before them, you know?
Like British stand-up's very different or like
Yeah.
French stand-up or something. Yeah.
And it's
Which
not
they
only
have.
and it's not only just because based of the humor, but it's just because based on you have so much experience here, way more than them.
More history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's way more adopted here rather than like in Bulgaria right now, it's getting popular. I think they're about to hit 10 years ever since the first stand-up ever appeared in Bulgaria.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I came here. I had no idea. It's mind-blowing. People will hate me that I'm saying that, but I had no idea what is stand-up 5 years ago.
No, I don't not believe that's crazy. Also crazy that you happen to get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full-time job now.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
And-
it sounds like it was always along the path of what you were kind of doing.
yeah.
But still, it's just weird to. That would be like me moving to Bulgaria and then like starting a career with
puppetry.
puppeteer. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
That's
it was
crazy.
I think like everything it's so weird. You're right though. I think everything makes sense like down the road. And now looking back, I had a lot of moments where I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I starting this side hustle that I know that it's not going to go anywhere? And then I'm ending up closing that business. And I was like, all right, well, I just lost thousands of dollars for nothing.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of, oh, now I know how to do business. Oh,
Yes.
and like down the road, everything made sense. I was like, oh, that's why I lost those money. That's why I went to this industry that led nowhere, you know?
Yeah.
And everything just combined. I was like, oh, now I get it.
Yeah, it takes time. I've been noticing that too. Like I've done a lot of weird, dumb things that
Yeah.
like seemed smart at the time. Like before I was in comedy, I was a musician for like years, and then I randomly opened up a streetwear company and then like tried to make clothes and sell them online, like all this dumb stuff. Like, but now finally, like I don't know, however many years later, I finally like started incorporating music into my act, which has been
Yeah.
really fun and cool. And it's like it never made sense until now. The
Yes.
clothing thing, not so much. Maybe we'll find a way. But I did learn how to open up an LLC and like do all that.
Exactly.
And it's like you do all these things. And I think for me, and I don't know if this is true for you, whenever I do something, I do it like it's going to be very successful. I put all my energy into it.
100%. I am
Yeah.
jumping always like deep waters. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna open something if it's half-ass done. I don't
Right.
know. Which a lot of people will tell you like, oh, you can't do that. You can't be a perfectionist for everything that you do. But I don't know.
And some of those ideas fail. Like most of them actually failed for me.
Most of them for me too.
But by doing it, I learned how to do contracts and do all this stuff, and you like figure out how to like piece it together. And
Yeah.
then like now you know how, or you know, like if I have to do it again, I can. And
Yeah, exactly. So that's something that I learned. Every effort will come back to you, no matter the fact that you're like, oh, I just lost so much time, effort, money,
yeah.
you know, it's okay. Just wait another 5 years. And for you right now, like maybe you're not selling clothing. You don't know. In 3 years, you might fucking explode anytime. And
Merch,
I
yeah.
need some merch. And now you know, okay, I have this company. Oh, I know how to do a website on Shopify. I know how to do this and that. So it will come together eventually.
No, I believe it. It's just weird to watch the timeline. What do you?
Yeah.
I'd say my dumbest thing I did was the streetwear company.
Yeah.
Just because like I wasn't into streetwear. I knew nothing about streetwear, but I was just like, I didn't have any money. So I was like, I can figure out how to make this a job so I don't have to keep working these like dumb,
Yeah.
shitty jobs. What do you think's the dumbest thing you've ever done?
I will say that it's still not paying off, but I got so much knowledge out of it that I will not say it dumb, but I'll more put it under the catalog. The thing that I did that I lost the most money on it.
Okay.
It had no fucking return.
What was it?
I started during the pandemic. I had this, I don't know, are you into like manifesting vision boards and
I
stuff?
know about it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
oh wait. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You had told me a little bit about this.
yeah, so during the pandemic, I had like so I've been doing vision boards for probably good 9 years now.
Okay.
My first vision board that I ever did was the year before I moved to America. And
Okay.
yeah, and I got super into it. And you know, I love the whole concept about manifesting and the secret and this and
Yeah.
that. So on one of my boards, I think it's like 2019, I put that I want to be my own boss and business idea, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like watching it one day, and it's so fucking time consuming to make a vision board. Yeah.
Okay.
And every time when January hits, like right now, I'm like, oh, I don't have the time to do it. Like,
Yeah.
why nobody can just like print it out for me and give me all the tools and make it a little bit like a fun project for me?
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there watching the vision boards. And then I saw like, you know, new product, new business, being your own boss. And I was like, I'm going to fucking make that too.
I'm gonna make the vision
I'm
boards
gonna make
for
the
the
vision
people,
board.
yeah.
Yeah. And I had this crazy idea and I was like, all right. So, and then pandemic hit.
Yeah. That's a
And-
great time to make vision boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I end up with a lot of time and no money and a lot of credit cards to play around with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I learned how to, you know, do the Shopify, open Etsy. It was so amazing to me that like till this day I'm still super proud because actually making like something from your head and
Yeah.
making it on a physical product.
Yeah.
And then you just hold it and you're like, it feels like it's your fucking baby. Like I'm
Yeah.
not, you know, I don't have kids, but it was, wow, like I made this.
But you know how mothers feel now.
Yeah. I'm just holding my vision board. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, but I found manufacturer in China and
course,
I
yeah.
ordered And there was like so many designers working with me. I was spending money like I have them, and I'm on zero.
Well, that's the committing 100%. You're like, I'm gonna go all in.
Yeah.
And then it's just gonna figure itself out.
Yeah. And then I ordered, I think, 500 units because I was like, that's gonna be a fucking hit. All right.
Yeah.
I still have around 300. So America, hit me up. And
I love that you ordered 500. You're like, we'll sell out in a month.
Oh my God. And I still have them. Holy shit. But I end up around, I think for 1 year, I think I spent $12,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, $12,000
on the vision board stuff.
Yeah.
So your vision boards are you? I know you told me it's a feng shui vision board.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It just it looks cool, or it's like a good energy.
Yeah.
Good flow.
Yeah. It's kind of like. So this is more, I think, again, like in Europe, most of the people were doing feng shui. Here in America, they're just buying a board and just like putting randomly,
That was my question, because when I think of a vision board, like I'm curious what it like looks like or how you do it, because I imagine like going to Walgreens, getting a piece of poster board and a glue stick and a bunch of magazines and cutting things out.
Well, so the feng shui one has 9 different segments. Like you have for the health, you have for career, you have for love. So and you're following all of those different colors because feng shui, Look at me. I have a whole product and I can't even explain it.
Sure,
this is why my vision boards are not selling because,
Well, is it feng shui, or did you like the way it sounded, feng shui vision boards?
No, it's feng shui.
Okay.
I actually like...
Because I've been seeing that too. I'm not that you do it, but a lot of people just throw
I'm a
words
scam,
on
that's
stuff.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm total scam.
You don't have to be a scam, but a lot of people throw words together. They're like, this is... whatever, and you're like, is it?
No, I actually like pull up a lot of like articles from Bulgaria because I couldn't find any. So I hire a translator and then we translate the whole thing. Then I hire another person to make it into a book. Then I hire a designer to design the book. So the whole vision board is coming with a guidebook that actually teaches you for feng shui.
Wow,
and
that's
how to
really
make,
cool.
Yeah.
You should be selling out.
I know.
Yeah, I think more people just need to hear about it.
I know, people.
Is there a website? Like, how do people get it?
Yes, it's dreamsplashvision.com.
Dreamsplusvision.com?
Dreamsplash, because you're like splashing your vision.
Dreamsplashvision.com. Okay.
Yeah. And it comes with a golden marker. It comes with a lot of stickers, with the guidebook, with the whole vision board. What else? I think that's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you just hit like so many people would just be in
I'll
it for
give you
this
one. If I give you one, would you do? Would you do one?
Yes, 1,000%.
I'll send you one.
That would be amazing. I would love one.
I'm trying to get rid of them anyway.
You have the feng shui vision boards, and then I'm also curious. You said you have a side hustle. It's a kids entertainment company.
Oh yeah, that was my first business. Oh, by the way, that's why a lot of people are asking me like, when I'm sending money for the Red Room, when I'm paying the comics, and the money are coming from Art Splash Me.
I always wondered that too, because it's that, or like, because so many people have like weird like LLCs that they funnel money through. Like when I get paid for certain things, I'm like, who the hell? Yeah. And then you like have to match up the date. You're like, oh.
That's why I'm trying to put in the memo always like Red Room Comedy Club, the date and everything, so people know.
Well, not that anybody's angry to get money. They're like, who sent me money? Who sent me money?
God damn it. But that was actually the name of my first business, and I was
Art Splash Media.
Art Splash Me. Yeah. So I was. Yeah. Now when I think about it, sounds kind of sexual. Art Splash Me. But because it was for.
Was it like a play on the word like slash, like art slash me?
Well, because it was more so doing face painting for kids, so it's like splash me with art, something like that, and I was like Art Splash Me.
Sure. Yeah.
And now when I think about it, it definitely sounds like a porn LLC.
Porn for kids.
Porn for kids, yes. But that was my first thing that I did because back in Bulgaria, I also did like a little teaching for acting for kids.
Okay.
I've done face painting in Bulgaria, and I was like, well, let me try to do something. And I started with the Bulgarian community just because I didn't speak English at the time.
Yeah.
And I knew that nobody's doing it for the Bulgarian community anyway. So I bought a bunch of princess costumes, another business that I put so much money in and didn't go anywhere. So yeah, I started doing face painting. Actually, I hit a point that I was almost booked every weekend for kids' parties. Yeah, it was a lot. Do it? Sometimes when I really need the money.
Okay, it's more of like a thing to fall back on. It's not something that you like love to do as much anymore.
No, like I had a moment that I really liked it, but dude, it's so much because sometimes like you're gonna put the costume, you have to be high energy with the kids for 3 hours.
Yeah, kids are like the high energy.
Yeah, because I have like a program, like dancing with them, doing like a little disco, then playing some games, and then everybody have a face painting. Oh no, the face painting was first, and then
So it's like people would hire you for like birthday parties or like as a school event. Like,
or whenever they want the parents wants to get drunk, so I can watch the kids.
Go paint their faces for 3 hours.
Yeah. So it's so tiring. Like most of the time, the last time I did that, I came home full blown, just like Cinderella, and I just like crashed on the couch and I slept for 5 hours. I was like, I am so tired.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I think that was the last time I did it. I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore.
So one other thing I wanted to ask you about too, and this could be the last thing too, is so you're a talent buyer for Den Theater, which I know that's a new position, I think, and new for you, right? Like within like the last year, I think. I remember when you got it. It was very cool.
6 months.
6 months. And you've had like a lot of people come through now. A lot of specials have been filmed there.
Yeah.
I think Sam Morril did a special there.
Yeah, that was actually the first time I went to the Den Theater. So
really?
That was that's how everything started.
It was very cool because I'd always walked by the Den Theater and there were like a couple shows in there. It was like nothing serious. And then I think they remodeled and made the upstairs like beautiful. It looks amazing. And it's a great theater too because it's not like the Chicago theater. You don't have to sell 1,800 tickets, and it looks amazing. And then they started getting like these cool acts. And I noticed you started being a part of it too.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about like what that is. Like what does a talent buyer do for the Den Theater? Like, are you having people come and like advertising to film their specials there?
So basically, people were thinking that it's super exciting. It's not. It's a lot of emails per day.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, you're just like...
I mean, it's a job.
It's a job,
but it's a cool avenue, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it has... don't get me wrong. I sound like I'm complaining. I'm not. I love the job.
Yeah.
It's very cool, and especially, they just sent me to LA and that was like part of my job. And I was like, that is so fucking cool.
I've been seeing you went to LA. You went to Austin too, right?
No, just to LA. But we were just there to talk to comics. Like,
to like scout talent to come through? Wow.
Yeah, we were in the Comedy Store, at the Largo, Laugh Factory. And, after every comic and whoever we like, we were just going to them and just introduce each other and being like, hey, we're from the Den, venue in Chicago, 300-seater. We'd love to have you there, and just introduce each other. I got to talk to a couple people. I met Morgan J that I actually booked. He was my first booking.
Morgan J?
Yeah, he was my first booking because I saw him on TikTok, and at that point he was not blowing up.
Yeah, he actually had a really cool year. He was I know he came to Zany's like a year ago, I think, and then he was like you said, not blowing up. Still really good though. I mean, not talent wise, just like audience wise.
Yeah.
And then he got JFL this year, and then he's just on TikTok. It's just been crazy. It's just like I'm seeing he's got like 300,000 likes on like all his videos.
Yeah, so that was like, so he was my first booking. And when we booked him, I think he was like slowly selling one show.
Okay.
And after a couple of months, like 3-4 months, then he exploded on the internet and he sold out another 3 on top of the first one.
So you booked him like 4 or 5 months in advance.
Yeah.
He's like slowly selling.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like one thing just changed like that. And then you were like, we need to add 3 or 4 more shows.
Yeah.
The demand's crazy.
Yeah. So I met him there and, I introduced I was like, hey, I'm from the Den. And I was so surprised he knew exactly who I am. He was like, oh my God, like, thank you so much for booking me and this and that. And, when I told him that he was actually my first booking, he was like, that is so awesome. So that's kind of part of my job. Like,
that's a cool part. That's like a rewarding part.
Yeah.
It must be cool to see like that switch. Like, seems like it happened so fast. I mean, I know he's been working forever, but just like, it was like, boom. And then all of a sudden you're like, we have 1,200 people who are buying tickets right now.
You know what they say, like overnight success happened over 10 years.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So, to answer your question, it's a lot of emails with the agents and I don't talk to the talent at all. And it's just like with the agents, like going back and forth. And, after 6 months, I know which agent, how they work. Like I know that some people, at the end of the day, you're working with people. Sometimes they're going to snap on you because you're pushing them too much. Other will forget about the venue and this
you know
and
how
that.
to deal with them now.
So you got to be on top on a lot of bookings and stuff and follow up with a lot of people. But yeah, I'm proud to say that now we have like my boss gave me a goal. Hey, we need to be booked 3 months in advance. And I'm proud to say that right now we're booking almost 6 months in advance
so
of the
you're
Den.
booked up for the next 5-6 months.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And you've only been there 6 months.
Yeah, we still have some openings, but
for the most part, like I'm sure he doesn't need 7
but
days
we
a
just
week.
got Tom Segura, so that helped
Tom
a
Segura
lot.
is coming to the Den?
No, we had him 2 months ago.
Oh, he was at the Den?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
We had David Letterman.
Wow. What did David Letterman do? Did he do his talk show kind of thing?
Yeah, he shot it there.
Who was the guest?
John Mulaney.
Oh, is it out yet?
I might not be able to talk about it. So I'm not sure. But I'll check with you and I'll let you know if we have to cut this.
Okay.
But yeah, it was amazing, man. Like it was just like watching those people that I've never thought that I'm gonna meet them.
Yeah.
It's
I
pretty
mean, those
cool.
are like meeting David Letterman and like having him come is crazy. I mean, Tom Segura is cool, but David Letterman's like, that's like comedy history. That's like getting Johnny Carson.
Yeah. And I'm such a huge fan of Tom Segura and John Mulaney. Like the biggest. And I got a picture with John Mulaney. I was so happy. Holy shit. Yeah, I was feeling like a teenage girl for real.
I'm always so torn on the picture thing because whenever I meet people that I'm like, I want a picture. It's like in my head, I'm going, what am I going to do with the picture? I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to post it. Like, what does it matter?
I look my picture with John Mulaney every night. I don't care.
Yeah. But like, it always like the one picture that I did get that I'm happy I got to meet Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
and I was
my God.
I don't want to be weird. Can I get a picture? And he was so nice about it. He was like, sure. But like in my head, I'm like going like, he probably gets it all the time, but it's like, I'm like an adult man.
Yeah.
Why do I want a picture with another guy? Like let's get a picture together. Like we don't know, we're not going to hang out. We're not going to be, it's just always so weird. But
I do have a rule though, because now, as a talent bar, I can't jump around like
you don't
the
want to
talent. I can't do that because I'm kind of losing my, position if I do that.
Like your credibility a little bit. Yeah, but like sometimes you get a cool one and you're like, it doesn't even matter. Yeah. I need a picture.
So I'm not taking pictures with all of them for sure. But if I'm like a really, really good, like very, very big fan of them, I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm cherishing my own happiness. Yeah. That is important to me, and I think I don't know. I think that's actually what I'm gonna concentrate to
Yeah.
make like the full circle of what we started for
Yeah.
the new year in 2024. I was definitely not very concentrated on my happiness in 2023.
Yeah.
And I think I might gonna slow down a little bit on 2024 and just like concentrate on, oh, how about you gonna take care of yourself before
Sure.
jumping in deep waters and doing all of the stuff that come up in your mind. So yeah.
Well, also too, the picture thing. You could be like, hey, like when you reach back out to them in another year and a half, hey, you don't remember me, but this is me.
That is
This is
true.
the picture we took together.
I've never thought about this.
Yeah,
Yes.
you could be like, hey, like I'm sure you don't remember me, but just like maybe this picture will jog your memory.
Yeah. Hey,
Here I am,
Melanie,
Tom
do you
Segura.
remember me and you in the alley behind the den? Yes.
Remember I
it's
gave you a
me.
food recommendation? I told you to go over here. Did you go? Was it good?
Yeah.
Well, cool. Thank you so much for being on here.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything you want to like plug or talk about that you have coming up?
I want to plug those 300 vision boards that I still
yeah.
have in my house.
What's the website again?
Dreamsplashvision.com.
Dreamsplashvision.com.
Yes. Another thing that I want to
There's
plug.
300 vision boards I still have in my house.
Please, I'll give it to you for cheap. But anything else? No. I mean, I assume that most of the people who watch it are comics. If you're not a comic, please go and support live comedy. Any venue, like for real, any venue. So yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thank you.
Thank you for
And-
having me.
Of course. And then real quick, what's up, Austin? I haven't been there in a while, but I'm coming at the end of this month. January 25th, I will be at Creek and Cave. And January 27th, I will be at Roscoe's. So please buy tickets. There's going to be a ticket link somewhere over here, wherever we can fit it. And yes, please come and please give me barbecue recommendations. And I really want to shoot guns outside. I've never done that. If you could help me find a place, I know you could do that shit in Texas. If you could help me find a place where I could just shoot some cool guns at some rocks or whatever you guys do out there, or dummies or whatever you shoot at. That's not a human
People.
or an animal. Yeah, it's not a human. Yeah. They're like, you can come on my ranch. We'll shoot at minorities. No, I don't want to do that. Just like targets. Targets is the word I'm looking for. I would love to do that. Barbecue and any cool bars. But yeah, let's hang out, Austin. January 25th, Creek and Cave. January 27th, Roscoe's. All right. Well, this has been Redheaded Stepchild, Julia Stoyanova.
Thank you.
And shout out to Justin Smith on the ones and twos. And we'll catch you next week.
Hey.